Thanks for the boost.
I got him. 86, they can't block on the intersection on Road.
Hey guys, so I've been playing V10 for the past few days, and I gotta say, those 3 weeks were definitely worth the wait. The update touches almost every single aspect of the game, from animations, gunplay, logistics, vehicle combat, new layouts, a new map. It just feels like a brand new game altogether. I've compiled some footage just to show the most important aspects of this new update. If you want the comprehensive list of changes, I'll leave the link to the patch notes in the description. Just a quick PSA, if you're having any issues or crashes like I did, go to your game settings and clear your cache. Be aware this will delete all your settings. Logistics trucks have been changed. Now you have to manually load in your Logi with supplies. While on the driver's seat you have to press 1 or 2 depending on the supplies that you want to load in, and then you're gonna hold your right mouse button to fill supplies to your logistics truck, or you're gonna press left mouse button to unload those supplies. You can do this from your main base or even from other friendly FOBs. This will allow the squad leader to have a much bigger array of options when it comes to logistics. In this video here, I just picked up supplies from main. Picked up 1500 ammo and 500 construction points. I just dropped the ammo on the mortar fob, where they don't have any use for the construction points, and I'm going to drop the construction points at the fob further north, where they are in desperate need of points to build a hub. Like I said, you can do this between main and fobs, or even in between fobs, depending where the supplies are needed. Definitely a big upgrade to logistics. Possibly one of, if not the biggest change to squad with V10 is vaulting and climbing. Since you can climb most walls of compounds, it really changes the dynamic of every map. You might be watching a door, you think the enemy is gonna go from there, and he just hops over the wall behind you and you have no chance of retaliating. And if the wall is too tall for you to climb by yourself, you can even ask a buddy to crouch in front of it. You hop on top of them, that sounds pretty bad, and then you hop over the wall to your unsuspecting enemy. Can you crouch? Can you crouch next to the wall? Thank you. Just for a second. Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, Mom. You good?
Got him.
Go do crouch.
Ninja move.
Spear, crouch.
I just want to learn the
It's an
weapons.
AK. Behind us, behind us! I saw at least three guys over there. There is a new class called the Machine Gunner, which brings to the table a much heavier option against those long-range targets. Not only that, the LMGs that you are used to also received a bipod upgrade, making them massively more useful than what you are used to. They've also moved the default automatic rifleman role to your squad roles, therefore you can have one LMG with the potential to have a second LMG and a machine gun. So it gives a much bigger array of options to your squad leader, and you can adjust depending on the situation. The recoil on them has also been increased, so I do not recommend you use them any way other than with a bipod. LMGs are already a force to be reckoned with now. When they finally buff the suppression effect, they're gonna absolutely dominate the battlefield. Oh, get roasted! They have a rally point. I just saw 2 guys spawn. They have a rally point like 100 meters north.
Copy that.
A very cool new feature is the ability to zero in your weapon, and to help you determine the distance to your target, binoculars now have a rangefinder. To use it, you must be looking directly at the standing enemy soldier, and the curve on the top needs to be just above his head and the bottom line just below his feet. Wherever your target fits perfectly inside those two lines, that is the corresponding distance to your target. In this case, we have one at 200 meters, but he could be as far as 1000 meters, and this method would still work. After you have determined the distance to your target, you can hold down X and then mouse wheel up or down to range and zero in your weapon at that specific range. Also note that marksmen are now also equipped with binoculars.
Right here.
I gotta say, these
Where's our lat?
Oh, there he is.
Let.
Yo, where's the lat?
One hit.
Shoot him! If that backblast still hit me, fuck.
Free look has also been implemented, and like the name says, it will allow you to freely look around the battlefield separately to where your gun is facing. It works not only if you are on foot, but if you are on top of a mat V on the turret and you want to keep that situational awareness without having to rotate the entire turret, or even if you have your bipod already placed down and you don't want to displace it, you can just simply look around and keep that situational awareness. By default, whenever you let go of the left Alt key, it will reset your view. But if you'd like, you can enable the recenter weapon option, where it makes you aim wherever you are looking. Mortars are now equipped with smoke rounds that you can use to either provide cover for friendlies or even to fire them directly at enemies to make them blind and unable to return fire while you move in close for the kill. There is now a new staging phase at the beginning of the round, which gives time for your team to regroup, claim their vehicles and be ready to move when the timer ends. This feature is to make it more difficult for an organized opposing team to rush your first flags. Not only that, as long as the enemy has one person on their first flag, they can capture it even if it's overwhelmed by enemy forces, making the meta rush a lot more difficult. Just be careful and don't get your vehicle flipped right at the beginning of the match.
Wait. Come.
Oh shit! Oh, I got pushed off,
You had one job!
Pushed me off!
One job!
What a fucking cunt! What a fucking douchebag! No!
Get under the tires. Get under the tires.
Covering the door.
Got him!
Yeah, I got one.
The new animations just give me the feeling that I'm playing a whole different game. Even small details like when you shoot an enemy and he goes down, his gun drops to the ground instead of just being like stuck to his chest. For example, here there's one guy taking cover behind the car. I'm shooting at him and I can only tell he died by the way his gun just falls on the floor flat. For example, in this situation, I'm just hanging with my machine gun and I see another gun belonging to a teammate just fall off a building. I know what you're thinking. No, who gives a damn? It's just a really small detail. It might be a small detail, but now I know that there's a friendly that died inside that building. And now even when you throw grenades, you can actually see the spoon fly off. It's this little bit of high candy that makes a difference between a good game and a very good game. There you go, nice. That was good. The SPG can now carry an additional 6 frag rockets, making it very effective against infantry, especially if you are working with a spotter. All guns have suffered a recoil overhaul, especially the US Army, which now has two variations of the M4. Make sure you are using the M4A1 and not simply the M4 if you want that full auto capability. The default M4 now only has single and burst fire. A great new addition is the ZU-23 anti-air gun. Comes in 3 flavors, mounted on the back of a truck, on top of an MTLB, and has an emplacement. It's only available for the insurgents and militia factions. Just be careful, there is no shield, you are very exposed while using this thing.
Up, chopper radio, that's it.
Ooh, that's the
We're from Gunner's Homestead. That's the video. We might just
You got him, you got him, hold fire.
northwest.
Good shooting.
Oh, yep.
I hear trucks, not friendly.
Far.
Holy
Right through
nice.
Oh shit!
it. They changed the...
That shut him up.
Kits. I'm medic.
Nice.
Let it go.
Fuck, I'm tagged. I'm tagged. The Rifleman without a scope has got a new upgrade. Besides the sandbags, you now can also place razor wire. I put down mine by the door of the building I was on. This way I can hear the enemies either dig it or cry in pain if they try to run over it. There's a new map called Balaiah. It's a forest snowy map. There's lots of big open spaces for vehicles and at the same time areas where it can only be captured by infantry. I definitely recommend you play the invasion game mode on this map. It was a blast when I played it. Here's a sneak peek.
Shit, I'm hit.
I like these things.
We have heavy contacts at a village on northwest.
Vehicles have went through big changes, especially the 30mm armed ones. They now have explosive rounds, coaxial machine guns, and smoke launchers. I'll leave all the specific vehicle changes on the screen.
Mark the accurate position of the hub and step now. Okay? Copy. Accurate.
Was it techie?
I think directly on the smoke.
He's down. Good call. Of course, like any other major release, it wasn't without its bugs. I had situations where I simply lost my gun, or I got revived on the air and just fell and died instantly. Some other bugs are also still in the game, like when you spawn on the fob and it just spawns you under the map and you fall into oblivion. But overall, nothing too game breaking like they had on the first V10 test, where people would just lean and they would be invisible for the other player. I didn't catch any of those major issues, and I really enjoyed my time playing. Oh, there you go. Got a gun now. Nice. That's it for me, guys. Before I go, I have 2 squad keys to give away. To be eligible, you need to be subscribed and write below any comment related to squads, and I'll pick the 2 most entertaining and interesting comments in 1 week. Take care, everyone. Peace. Meme hard. Every day. Bro. Okay, bye.
That's a nice.
What's up?
What's up? Yo,
You look retarded.
can you look
Yo.
up and down? Oh my god, it goes into your shoulder.
Where the fuck am I? Oh.
Dab on the haters, Ray. Look,
Enough.
look.
Stop. Stop.
Oh god.